Hi, beautiful people. Today I would like to talk about spirituality and how to get more of that in our lives. I think today a lot of people grow up without a spiritual identity, and they might look at other people who have a faith or a spiritual practice and think there is something extra in their life, something they can lean on that helps them through difficult times. But maybe they might think, well, I didn't grow up with spirituality, so maybe it's impossible to get that later on. So let's look at some simple tips today. If you think anyone else can benefit from this video, please share it. Maybe there is a member of your family who has been struggling lately, and you think they could really benefit from discovering their spiritual identity, from having more peace in their life. Maybe a friend. So please share the video. Also, if you like the content of this video, press like and subscribe to my channel so you can receive invitations for other videos like this. And check out all my other videos on the same subject from different angles. There are many different forms of well-being. We often talk about physical health, and there has been a growing awareness about mental health. But we don't talk a lot about spiritual well-being, and yet it is an integral part of our life. The body gets older, and we all have experienced it failing us in one way or the other at some point in our life. What does mental health mean? Does it depend on our social life, on our achievements, on our personal growth? All of these things are unstable and they are always changing. So can we achieve a form of well-being that is more stable and that can carry us through when life gets really challenging? In the last years, a lot more people have become interested in yoga, meditation, and mindfulness practices. I guess to alleviate some of the anxiety, fear, or depression due to life changing so dramatically with lockdowns and other forms of restrictions. But what if you have never practiced spirituality before and you don't quite know how to go about it? Today I would like to talk about two major qualities of spirituality, which are also two excellent entry points: silence and solitude. Spirituality means to look inside, to discover the nature of our soul, that layer to reality that is often drowned out by too much outer noise and stimulation. And yet it is the most powerful source for well-being. Being mindful means to live in this moment, ultimately to be this moment, without identifying with a thought that applies judgment, value, or that moves us into a fictitious past or future. And why is this so desirable? Because most of our suffering comes from placing judgment on people, ourselves, things, situations, events, from dwelling on something that happened in the past or anticipating something that might happen in the future. This gives rise to emotions of anxiety, fear, anger, resentment, a feeling of inadequacy, never-ending desires, or there's always something lacking. While we can't stop thoughts from appearing, as long as we live there will be thoughts, we do have the power to decide whether to give them attention or not. For instance, the feeling of boredom or restlessness. Can you see it as just an emotion that appears and disappears? Probably due to conditioning. One of the effects of social media and that constant bombardment of stimuli is that people on an average can't pay attention for longer than 2 minutes. So if you're still here with me, you're doing really well. But a lot of us struggle even with this simple step, to emancipate ourselves from our emotions and from conditioning. And that doesn't mean that you're cold as ice, that you don't feel anything. It just means you are not governed by emotions. You can enjoy them as they arise, but you don't depend on them. So how can we move closer to this state of equanimity of heart and mind? A healthy dose of silence. And this requires some effort. Very often when we try to be still, we all of a sudden notice all the things we need to clean, we need to fix. We see cobwebs we've never noticed before. The mind uses all the tricks it has to gain back control and to distract us. So we need to learn again how to be still. And today we will do this only for 2 minutes. And this is stretching our abilities according to the statistics. And we will really take notice of how we feel after that. Because if we can't be still, we are not able to listen to or take in any further steps towards spiritual well-being. And this is why people often say, I can't meditate. My thoughts, they just won't stop. Calming your thoughts will be a natural consequence of being still. I can tell you 1,000,000 times, just observe your thoughts, don't identify. This is not possible if we can't be still for more than a few seconds. The second important entry point to spiritual well-being is solitude. And they both really go hand in hand. Silence or stillness is not possible without solitude. But this can be fearful for some people because it is something unknown. We don't really grow up learning about the benefits of solitude. On the contrary, we learn about the need to be social. And it's important to understand that solitude doesn't mean loneliness. It means to reacquaint ourselves with the ability to be well in our own company. We soon will find that that self we carry inside of us contains everything we need, is everything. How can we be lonely if the whole world and the whole universe is inside of us? Again, at the beginning, this requires a little bit of effort because a lot of us associate solitude with loneliness or boredom. But again, this is just conditioning and we can overcome it. How will you ever know that you don't need other people if you never try it? And this doesn't mean to become a reclusive. We still mingle and share energies. That is very healthy. But we also spend some time with ourselves. Like for instance, in a solitary walk, or bath, or a moment of silence. The key is to keep it short at the beginning, so that you can really commit to it and actually see the benefits before you give up. And then over time, you can increase your moment of silence for a few more seconds, a minute. You maybe end up meditating for half an hour a day. It's like a muscle that you need to train. But unlike a muscle in your body, once you have gained that ability and you've overcome conditioning, you will never lose it. So let's begin with our little practice. Sit comfortably and close your eyes. So the challenge is to sit 2 minutes in silence. If your mind feels very active, I give you a cue. Focus on your breath and deepen it a little perhaps. Simply pay attention to the rising and the falling of your belly as you breathe. Try to not follow your thoughts as much as possible. Don't beat yourself up. Right now, it doesn't matter how many thoughts you have. The achievement is to sit still for 2 minutes. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let go of everything. So how do you feel? Notice the well-being that comes from only 2 minutes of silence. And this will get better and better the deeper we move into our spiritual core. So keep watching my videos and joining me on this journey. Please subscribe to my channel so we can remain connected in this way. May the rest of your day be filled with love, joy, and happiness. All my love to you.